hopefully we can learn. We can learn from our beginning, the start of the season, that even win the Community Shield against Liverpool, we drop points, but maybe we didn't expect, and maybe it can help us. But I don't know, Jamie. It's going to happen. So I think the opponents will be everything stronger. So Liverpool will remain the strong team that we are. I think we are going to see. We are suggesting how Chelsea is going to invest this transfer market, and we saw the last period how Man United make a step forward. So Tottenham is going to recover a lot of injured players that they suffer. We saw with Harry Kane, with other players, and of course with experienced managers like Mourinho. All will be strong, and Arsenal with more time with Mikel is going to happen. And Leicester, every season the teams are stronger and stronger and stronger. So, and it will be more difficult. So I said many times, so retain the title. We was the first after 11 years, so that means how difficult it is to do this. And but in the same time, it's the next season, Jamie. And right now, and I'm thinking much about this. So now is take as quick as possible the points to secure the qualification for the Champions League. If we can play it, like we will know it in 2-3 weeks, we'll know the sentence from the UEFA if we can play it or not, and if it did happen. So we are going to play there because we deserve it to play. Because now, imagine right now being 15 points clear for United, and this United means that it's not much wrong what we have done, except outstanding performance in terms of points and performance from Liverpool. So I'm focusing especially right now in Monday, and after try to good selection for focus in against Newcastle. This is an important situation. And once we are clear to qualification of the Champions League, do some ideas that we have in my head about the players and the way we played to prepare the game against Madrid. This is the target for the next 2 months, before the end of the season. And next season, prepare with the ideas that we have in the transfer market and prepare the next season and compete again. So we cannot forget. So the last 9 titles we fought this year, we won 8. So it's not bad what these players have done. And I think it's going to do next season again.
Thank you, Jamie. We'll now go to Jack Gorn.
Just going back to Leroy very briefly, do you need a resolution with Bayern Munich pretty quickly, because that'll impact on what you do, because you'll probably need a replacement for Leroy?
I don't know with that, and I don't know because I'm not involved about both clubs. It was a lot of talks about Bayern Munich, but I don't know exactly the situation about both clubs, what's going on. I don't know.
Okay, Simon Bashkowski from the Manchester Evening News.
Hi, Pep. Do you think you will need to go into the transfer market to replace Leroy because of what he brings?
It's not. First, Leroy is our player. I don't know if he's going to leave this summertime or is going to leave at the end of the contract. So I don't know. But we have enough good players up front. So Gabriel can play in the left. Phil Foden can play in the left. So they have Raheem there. So we have big talent players up front. Most of them are players they are in good all the time healthy conditions. So like Phil, for example, like Riyad, like Gabriel, like Raheem, these are players they can play quite regularly for a long time. They are so stable in terms of injuries time situations. So I think we have another priorities maybe. So, and I don't know after coronavirus, the situation economically, financially for the clubs is changing. So, and I don't know what is the situation. So we are going to see at the end of this season.
Rob Dawson.
Hi, Pep.
Hi.
There's a suggestion today that the big Premier League clubs might not play in the Carabao Cup next year because of the calendar. Is that something that you would support, or would you be disappointed at not getting a chance to defend a trophy that you've done so well in the past?
Yeah, it will be nice to play it as a competition. So 3 times in a row. So we would like to to defend this title on the pitch, not off the pitch. But the situation, the COVID-19, so the Premier League start later. So I don't know. It depends on the calendar, and we're going to that. It's the same what I said before with the UEFA playing in the second leg against Madrid at home. We will love it. The same with the Carabao Cup, we will love it. But the situation is exceptional, and when the Premier League or the Carabao directors decide what we have to do, we're going to do.
Okay, James Robson.
Hi, Pep.
Hi.
You've been quite open this season about last summer not being able to have the money to sign a centre-back that you wanted. Given coronavirus and the impact that's had, apart from at Chelsea, it appears, do you think your hands will be tied in terms of being able to bring in a centre-back or indeed the transfers you want to do this summer?
I don't know right now, James. I don't know. So, in all the places I was, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and here, when the club say we cannot afford it, we cannot afford it. So, but I don't know. I don't know because it depends of the people that stay or not play, or maybe these last 2 months the team make a step forward and we decide to continue with the same people. So I don't know right now. I don't know.
James Ducker. James, can you hear us? Can't hear your question, James. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hi. Hi, Pep. There were some positive signs, I thought, from Benjamin Mendy against Arsenal. It's obviously been a very difficult time for him at City with all the injuries he's had. Do you think in a strange way that this lockdown and this break has finally given him an opportunity to have a rest, focus on his body? And do you think that he's got a chance over this next 2 or 3 months to show you that you don't need another left back, that he can be the player you always hoped he would be when you bought him back in 2017?
Yeah, it's our wish, and especially his wish. So he has a special quality for his energy, his potential. As a left back, he's an extraordinary player, but we cannot forget just play 1 game. So after lockdown, but that is the truth that he came back so fit. So after this lockdown, in the first days, in his focus, but it just wasn't game. With Benja, you have to wait a little bit, and hopefully he can play this period that Chumal with a lot of games can play regularly, because he's a guy who miss him a lot. I have to admit that Fabian Delve and Alex help us a lot in this position. Sometimes with Danilo playing there in this position or Joao. I think it's so important for us to have him, and hopefully he can continue training and doing what he has done so far after lockdown. So, but we have to wait. It was just 1 game.
And if he can, maintain his fitness and show impressive form over the next 2 or 3 months, how big would that be, particularly if Leroy did go this summer? Because he does offer you a width on the outside, Mendy, that you perhaps don't quite have sometimes without Leroy. That ability to go outside and offer you a bit further width on the left. Is that quite a big thing as well?
Yeah, but not for this tactic detail you mentioned, because of course the quality from Benjamin is going outside, but he is learning to play inside too. So it's not just about the situation from Leroy. Leroy is a personal situation that, and especially it's not just about this. It's about being fit. He loves to play football, being on the pitch. He's a guy who plays without pressure, handle the pressure really well in the bigger stages. Is a player like. We can count on him. We could not count on him from 2 years. It's a long time, and every player needs minutes and needs to be fit. And what you want is not just for the situation. That is being ready to play and help us and do what the players want, is play football.